Come on. No, I'm so... Oh, no! Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Building with Whip. Today we are working on our castle Let's Build series, building up this fantasy wizard castle here again, and this is episode number 5, I believe. The last few episodes we have spent planning out this build, creating a wireframe of it, then building our gatehouse here, and then building up this massive, I guess you'd call it a tower structure here onto the side. And I am super pumped with this build so far. I've had so much fun with it, and it seems like you guys are really enjoying this one. So thank you all for that awesome support so far. It's been pretty insane compared to what we were receiving beforehand. But yeah, before we get into what we're building up today, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about something I've been doing. As you guys can see around us, a few things are different throughout here. So I did come in through here. I planned out kind of what the structure of this building right here that I want it to be. I planned out to a smaller building right in this area. And then I've done a lot of work over here, kind of planning out things. Decided that this is going to be like a little wall right there. We'll create another little wall right there. And then we can make it super lush right down in that area. Maybe make it look like a cart or some barrels fell off the sides or crates or something. And then up here, I've been doing a little bit of work, kind of more with the planning, kind of where the roads are going to be going, planning out a little bit of an area over here. I've decided I want to try and space buildings out slightly, a little bit more to add a little bit more purpose in areas. So having a lot of variation in the spacing between houses, like over here where everything basically is sharing at least one wall with another structure. I want to try in our front area, maybe over in the old town area over there, adding a little bit more depth and space and size in between them so we can add in little tiny gardens, little areas like that throughout the whole world. I was watching Mythical Sausage's tour with Vigo Man when they're looking at, I think it's Clipstead. That video came out fairly recently on both of their channels. Go check it out for sure. But Vigo Man is a Conquest Reforged builder, and he built up this giant Norwegian town. And I took a lot of inspiration from the town that he was building because there's a lot of little areas in there where he has a really densely populated city, but then also there's spaces where there's a little bit more size and a little bit more poorer housing. And there's just variation throughout, so it actually makes the build look a lot more alive, which I think we can kind of capture by adding that type of variation in throughout here. However, as you guys can see, I've been doing a lot of planning. And that brings me to my next point, or my question for you guys today, that would be a better way of saying it, would be, do you guys want me to go ahead and do a lot of planning throughout this area and kind of show you guys the end result of the planning? Or do you want me to come in here and basically plan out all the stuff with you guys in like certain episodes where we talk through all of that? Or maybe I figure out a way of doing like a big old time lapse of planning everything. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys want to be seeing towards that. Time lapse for planning, me just doing it myself and giving you guys an update after, or a actual walkthrough of talking about where every little building and every little thing is going to be going, or maybe a mix between them. Let me know down in the comments below. Super curious about that one. Also on top of that, another just general Building with Whip update. I went ahead and reverted our oak trapdoor back to the default Minecraft oak trapdoor. I found myself constantly just using the spruce trapdoor and actually replacing a lot of places where I'd used our previous oak trapdoor with that one. So I went ahead around the entire world and replaced about 90% of them with that guy and reverted the texture back to the original one. I really hope that's okay with you guys. Let me know down in the comments below if you want to bring that one back, or if you guys still really use that as another way besides the just another spruce trapdoor. Super curious about that. I just found that it gave kind of more uses for building. I feel like this one not being a full block can have a lot more uses than that other like planky one did than what we had previously. But anyways, let me know down in the comments on that one as well. However, today's video, what we're going to be working on is this area right out here. We're going to be working on terraforming, or not terraforming this out, but finishing it up, making it look a lot more polished. And coming inside of our gateway, I want to go ahead and work in this area going throughout and kind of getting our roof trim bit going around on here. So we got a lot of things planned for today's episode. There's a lot of stuff going on here. And with that, I do need to go ahead and get a little bit of building done in here so that we can kind of have some things to work with. However, what I want to be doing is basically coming in here and turning this whole thing to start into brick. I think brick will be a great way that we can have a lot of variety inside this area here. Just make it super interesting looking and just a lot cooler than it did before. We need to place you back in there. But there's just so much stuff that we can do, I think, with having a red floor in here. So kind of this red brick floor. And then you can see I have some granite in my inventory as well. I want to try messing around with adding some granite into it just to mix it up, make it look a little bit more detailed. But I think this will just give us that needed little bit of variation between the roadways itself and the castle walls, instead of everything being just gray on gray on gray. I think brick in this area can actually give us a lot of extra life and just depth and just a lot of just that variation I was talking about. I think this will really help us out. So I want to test this guy out today, see what it's going to be looking like. I haven't really looked at it before like this, but even right here, I feel like that just looks so much better. Just having that bits of variation. Maybe we'll add, like, again, more variation throughout and just kind of mix it up a bit more, make it look a little bit more interesting as we go. I wish we almost had like a cracked brick structure or a way of using, like, making like a cracked brick something or another. But I guess that could maybe be our regular granite. Maybe. We'll see how this goes. Let me go and get our staircases finished in here, guys. Up to this point, probably up to our front door. We'll focus on this outside area for now. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll be back with you guys as soon as I can. Welcome back to Shaderless Minecraft. So here we are with our brick coming all the way in from out here. I want to go and basically, as soon as we get across the bridge, I want us to know that we are in this fantasy wizard environment over here. So I figured that we can go ahead and follow the red brick road all the way up to our magic fantasy castle. Coming up through here, I went ahead and added in some granite and some polished granite in throughout here. I think it's looking pretty great. We got a lot of just ways of breaking it up throughout here. With all the brick being throughout, I thought it looked really messy and really just kind of same and plainy looking, and it wasn't too great. But as soon as we get 1.14 in here, we can actually come back through and add it in a lot more variation to this, because we'll get granite, half slabs, and stairs. So we can actually go ahead and mix this up a lot more instead of just having the full block. So super excited about that one. I do still need to go ahead and come in here and get all this stuff ironed out, but we're basically going to just be following and filling in everything throughout here, going all the way throughout all this, basically this open space that we're running on right now. We're going to be filling it in with brick slabs at this level, and that should be pretty cool, including filling in and replacing these little bits right in there. I'm really excited to get this stuff in here. I think it's going to look really cool. So let me go ahead and get that stuff done. I was thinking, however, when we're in here, I want to go ahead and make it look more like a pattern. So let's go ahead and actually see what we can come up with here. I was thinking basically we could go ahead and have it, so we got like a 4 wide area right here. So I was thinking basically if we could go ahead and do something like this where we had like 2 and then bam, and then like every 2 blocks we have like a polished granite or something like that. So it's just kind of really filling in this whole area, making it look like there's a pattern throughout here, really manicured instead of just the random blocks being placed down like we have out front. I was thinking that this could actually make it look just a little bit more interesting and kind of more in line with that magic feel that we're really going here for, like, and also really bringing in that castle feel, because everything will be very organized, very polished, and very clean. But outside you kind of have this more messy format, so as soon as you step through this gate here, you know you're in this much more regal, polished format, which I'm thinking is going to be a really cool way of doing it. So if we could come out here and basically just do like bam and then bam, and we don't have any more. I don't want to use a full block because we're really actually running low on brick here, because that's all we have left in our entire name. So let me go ahead and get this stuff in here. Let me go ahead and get this guy changed out, and then we'll come back out here and do a little bit more detail. I need to go ahead and get some end crystals. I thought it would be really cool if we threw one on top of each of those to make it really look magic-y out here. So I'll be back with you guys after I've went ahead and gathered up the resources for those as well. All right, guys, welcome on back. So this whole place in here is actually pretty much filled in now. It's looking pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. I'm really excited to get the stairs in for these guys as well, so we can kind of continue the pattern and turn that into a polished granite block right there. Maybe someday soon. We got a nice little pig here checking out our courtyard again, and our shulker courtyard area is forever expanding. We might be able to clean that guy up here pretty soon. We probably should, as we're trying to finish that stuff off today. However, out here I've been doing a little bit of work. So we got this general design here built up, ready to go for what I want this thing to be looking like. Just kind of having just this piled up area. I shrunk it down a little bit and added in the iron bars. And if you guys saw it at the bottom of the screen, we now have a banner. I'm super pumped about this one. I think it's very dark for what I like it to be, But I really like it. It kind of looks like we got an eyeball there with kind of another stretched one going up there. Then there's a shape going that way. I think it turned out really, really cool. I'm super pumped with it. I think it gives a cool contrast to the rest of the castle. So you can see we got one up there, and one right there. That being said, though, I think this guy might be temporary. If you guys have some better banner ideas, be sure to let me know on those because I'm always looking for new ones. However, it's time that we go ahead and tackle a few different things involving ender crystals. And with those guys, we got to be really careful because if you guys didn't know, I probably have mentioned it once already, but if you freaking touch them with anything, they explode. So to make an ender crystal, you do that. Gas tier, Eye of Ender, surrounded by glass. Cool. We got those guys made up, and you need to place them on obsidian. You can't place them on any other block, and that's where things are going to be getting a little interesting for what we want to be doing here. So really quick though, but while we're working on this, I think I want to go ahead and just show you guys the general idea of what's going to go on here, or what should happen here. Right here, we have our lovely end crystal. Now, if we go ahead and do this, you'll see that's kind of where we want the crystal to be floating. But what I want to do is get this guy up here. As you can see, I can click here, I can place a block there. Click one here, I can place it there, there. I can't place anywhere within these areas on top. You can hear me clicking in the background. So, like, it's a little difficult to get those things in there. But what we can do, though, is we can actually take a piston right along the base of this guy right through there, and then go ahead and just bring in a little bit of a redstone block right down at the base, and that'll actually push our block up. But that also will push the end crystal up. So what we actually need to do here is we need to go ahead and position a block right above it. So we have it right there, and we can go ahead and place our piston in here again, placing him right there, and then do that. And you'll see here that that actually makes the end crystal float directly on top of that block like it does for the obsidian. So the obsidian can be right there. So we place the ender crystal right on top of that guy. Can't place it there because we're too close. Okay, well, there it all exploded. So that's something we got to be careful of. But you can see right there it floats directly on top of it. But we can't place any blocks around this guy, which means that's what we're going to have to do without blowing things up like that. So I'll meet you guys back over in the survival world. My name is Whip, and welcome to doing something very stupid. All right, let's get on with this guy. So what I want to have is this thing actually floating right above this point. So that being said, though, we do need to go ahead and figure out what we're going to be doing here. So if we go ahead and grab our obsidian, place him right in there, we can go ahead and then bring this guy up, bring you boom, boom, and then over the top, and that'll create that little bit of a nook that we want in there, that little protective bubble. Then we can go ahead and place in our end crystal, and now this is where things get interesting. So we want to go ahead and break this guy with making sure that we don't touch the end crystal at all, and then we can go ahead and just do all this. So right there, it's floating right there. I kind of like that being that dark color, though. That'd be cool if we could somehow keep that. But okay. Next, we want to come up here. We want to get our cobblestone wall in place right in here. Cobblestone wall. Okay, next. I'm very, very worried about this, guys. If you guys can't tell, I'm a little uneasy right now. Okay, so we got you in here. We need to go ahead and then place just place this redstone block right there. Okay, he's in place. Everything's in place there. How do we get rid of these dirt blocks? Oh no, let's see if we can get just like, how do we do it? Oh no, it's right inside the crystal. And come on. Come on. No, I'm so, oh no. All right, it looks like the last few clips, unfortunately, had a little bit of an audio desync issue. So I'll salvage from those what I can, and you guys will see that so far. If the audio sounded a little off in the last ones, I'm really sorry about that. But hopefully, you know, that whole scream in there of me sounding like a little girl actually was able to get in there. However, we're back here after our second try, and it's time that we go ahead and remove the dirt block. So we want to go ahead and jump all the way up to the top of this guy, and I am very worried. So this time, instead of the dirt block actually being inside the crystal, it's one above. So I think if we just click right here when it's at the farthest of the base, cool. So that guy's all the way down there. This thing is still very explosive. We touch it with an arrow, it's gonna explode. So we really need to watch out for these ones right throughout here and just make sure that we don't make any stupid mistakes. So that being said, though, I did want to come through this guy right here and throw in some polished diorite, doing bam, 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 bringing all that stuff into there. I think that'll be pretty cool for what we want to do. And then my plan was to actually go ahead. Actually, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I kind of want to go ahead and just do some stone brick stairs throughout here, just kind of to smooth this out a little bit more. And then we can do that. That'll work out pretty well. And then we probably want to go ahead on the base of these guys, go ahead and make it just look a little bit more fancied up and everything. So maybe we do the polished die right there again on the corners. And then we got to make this appear actually pretty strong looking. So I was thinking we go ahead and bring in the stone brick throughout the rest of this guy just here to make it look like this strong frontal focal point kind of thing for our area here. So we can go ahead and get these last ones in right like bam, bam, and bam, bam. Cool, looking good. Okay, I think that is actually all of them. And now that I'm down here, though, I do want to go ahead and kind of just do a little bit of action right like that. I think that right there is actually going to be pretty good for like a front little spire point. Hopefully that works out fairly well for us. But yeah, I think it's time that I need to go ahead and get the second one in right over there. Well, hopefully we won't destroy anything too much for it. And yeah, let me go ahead and do that now, and we'll see how this guy goes. I'll be honest, my OCD is going a little bit crazy here, because that guy and that guy are out of sync. I don't know why, but I'm really tempted to kind of go and replace them. But that would involve exploding one of them, which I'm sure would explode the other, and explode everything down here. So we're just going to leave it. But know that I really want those to be in sync. I feel like that'd be so much cooler. God, that's such a pain. That is so annoying. Oh, okay, well, all the damages from our first explosion have been recovered, and both of these pillars are now in place, and it's looking pretty awesome. I really like that feel, and I keep falling down here. Every time I walk through here to show you guys, I fall down that crack. I don't know why. It's every freaking time. However, though, those guys are in place, looking pretty awesome throughout there. Everything in here is looking pretty great as well. I have been starting to come up here and add in some birch fences and acacia wood or acacia leaf trees. I don't really know what type of trees these would be. I really do like them though, and I've created this little tiny grassy area in here that we can kind of add a few little different things throughout. So I was thinking we could basically just come in here and do something like that. And then let me just go and get a few more of those guys. Probably going to go ahead and actually turn this back into some brick right there. Just kind of pin it in the corner. And then I do want to come out over to this side as well, make another. So basically how we're doing these is more or less just kind of bringing it all through like there. And then we can go ahead and kind of, for now, we'll just bring it out there. We might bring him out and around that corner a little bit more. But then we can go ahead and kind of bring this dude out this way a little bit. And basically it looks like this vine, or the wood itself, the tree itself is like, it's like growing up the side of the castle here, and really trying to, it is part of the castle more or less. The castle is like supporting it and everything. So we want to go ahead and really kind of convey that cool feel that we have going on here. Maybe we make it look like it's inching out this way, trying to get some more of that sunlight and things like that. As our sun is setting, this area gets very dark at night, so maybe it's trying to grow towards the light here as well. So I do need to go ahead and get in our acacia leaves throughout this guy. Need to go ahead and just throw these guys in here like that, and then we can come back into this point, just drop a little brick slab right in there to cover that bit up. So let me go ahead and do a little bit more work around here, getting these guys in place, and that'll be pretty much it for the front, and then we can move on to focusing on the inside in here. I think our front entrance here is actually pretty much finished up for the most part. I'm super happy about this guy so far, and I think it's actually turned out to be really cool. However, there's a few more things that I want to touch base on, which would basically just kind of bringing the texture variation along this flat stone face over there, as well as the one over here. But I'm not quite sure what I want to do for the terraforming on the outside, which is kind of why I've held off on it so far. I might do like a little hedge or something going up along the inside of this as well, or along the outside. But throughout this area on the inside portions, I'm really happy with this. I think these are great. These little flower beds we have on the side. And then there's this one over here as well with our trees in here. I think they actually look really cool. Super excited about this. Full view right there for you guys. Front entrance gate right there. It's looking really sweet once we get that big old castle tower in over on that side. Our big old circular wizard tower. Hello, there's my face and our dancing orbs behind us. Looking pretty sweet. Now, coming into this area though, which is what we're working on next, I went ahead and moved all this stuff to the outside. It's right over there. We got our texture variation in this stuff already. And basically what I want to focus on with you guys here is coming up here to the top. And we're actually going to go ahead and basically take everything as if it were like right in here. And we're going to kind of start bringing out a circle. More or less, we're going to try and turn this into a bit of a circle. And I'm thinking it might honestly just be this right here. So if we do 5, 2, 1, 2, and then kind of keep it going all the way around. What the heck is going on? Oh, well, yeah, there's my outline. But I want to do dark oak here. And then I want to do for the actual roof itself. So I want to do like a dark oak trim. And then I want to go ahead and bring in a little bit of spruce to kind of help give that a little bit of a lighter contrasty tone to everything else we're going to be using that as a pickaxe. And just, I think it can make it look a lot brighter in here and a lot lighter and everything like that going throughout. So we're going to go ahead and mess with that guy for now. We're not going to be doing a whole lot in this area today, unfortunately, because we do need to actually go ahead and build out everything looking behind us in order to fully finish in this area. And I haven't decided quite what I want to do down here yet. I'm almost thinking that we can go ahead and have like a bit of a grate right here in the middle, and then have something like right down here looking down, and then having a big orb, like a big version of one of those guys that we can build ourselves that wouldn't explode on us down there below it. And that's kind of where the magic energy is really coming up out of this area. Or maybe we actually do like a beacon. We could actually maybe make a beacon look good in our world here. So you guys will have to let me know if we want to see a beacon down there. That could be kind of fun to try. But anyways, that's what I wanted to do for the style of roof, right? Or at least for the surrounding area in here, so we can still look up throughout it. We're running really low on spruce wood though. So spruce is actually something that we're going to have to be careful about how we use it here in the next little bit. So let's go ahead for now. We're probably just going to need all of these to get ourselves started here. We can go ahead and jump all the way to the top of this guy. Again, just kind of like bam, right to there. And then we can go ahead and that old guiding line that we built up way long ago, we can actually go ahead and kind of just take ourselves into here. Actually, we probably want to go ahead and build it up along this side, because this way we can actually trace it. So it's going to be there, and it's going to come up to that point. So it's not going to be super tall going throughout this guy. I do need to go ahead and figure out where, or like how the slope of this is going to be going all the way around here. That's going to take me a little bit of time just kind of to figure that stuff out, because it's going to be a lot of moving things forwards, moving things backwards, and just seeing what the overall feel of the build is as we're kind of working throughout it. So let me go ahead and do a little bit of work here on this stuff, guys, and I will be back with you all as soon as I have an update for you. Alright, a progress update here for you guys. We went ahead and got a lot of this roof kind of area in place in here, and I think it's looking pretty good. The pillars are in place as well, and so far I think I like it. I think I really like what we have going on, and I was thinking about going ahead and bringing in just little bits of remnants of a path, making it look like people are traveling around at this area just a little bit throughout here, making it look like they're actually using this to walk between. Not a whole lot, but we want to make it look like people are actually still coming through here. So maybe just something like that, where you can see people are kind of walking from there to there. They're not really going to be able to walk around the middle, but after the end goal of this, I don't think we'll do that today. Overall, we got this dark oak trim here. I ended up bringing it down another block, and then from there, it kind of steps up pretty gradually up above to the top. Let's go ahead and grab a ender pearl, jump up here, see what we can see on top. And as you can see, it's just kind of this ring of a roof. It's just building itself up gradually and working up so everything's at an end point. It's not completely finished out and flush with it where the brick ends, because I want to go ahead and get those buildings built up here sooner rather than later, so we can see what those things are actually going to look like before we really finish off where this is going to go. And it gets a little bit of mob hectic out there in the dark, but we do have some torches below, so that's pretty cool so far. However, I did come up here and I brought in this little bit of a ring thing right here. So there's a little bit of a circle that's coming out, and I'm thinking about modifying this so that instead of a circle, it's just going to be the 7 long wide area. And I actually wanted to go ahead and kind of basically take this from here, bring these guys all the way across like this, and more or less build this wall out here another little bit going on all these different sides, and kind of make a little bit of an area for the guards or whatever mages would be inside this frontal area. Wow, I'm stuck in the wall there. Whoever would be inside this area. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we can have a roof bit coming out. Let's bring that back down to 5. I actually like that. So we can go ahead and do this guy right here. And then there'll be a little bit of an area for people to kind of see out from and kind of get their little bit of a distance and view into the center courtyard. So we can do something like bam, bam. And then we kind of got 3 windows built up into that guy. That'll be something we can tackle again later on. That's kind of my general thought process for what's going to be going through there. Maybe we go ahead and make these windows actually be 3 high. That probably will help us out a little bit more with making it look a little bit more finished. Can we go ahead and get that one? Cool, we did. And there's that one as well. Let's go ahead and actually jump in here and make sure this lines up with where we want it to. Where does that go? Ooh, so that actually will be 1 lower than what we want it to be. That's okay. You know, I think we can make this work if we actually take this floor and just lower it down like a full block back here, because these guys will come down into this way right to here, or we can go ahead and just kind of figure it out as we go. But if we took you down, there's a stone floor right there. We do have room. Oh, heck yes. So we can go ahead and, because we're going to modify where this guy looks on the inside of that little walkway area back in there that we're kind of peeping down into right now. So we can go ahead and bring these guys all the way down throughout here, because we don't want that full walkway going all the way through. So we're not going to really be doing many of these interiors, but we can go ahead and just bring these guys across like this. And there we go. We can go and do that, do some half slabs right across there. That'll be pretty cool. I've been watching a lot of, I think I mentioned this before, I've been watching a lot of Duke on Red One's videos, because he's been kind of back into his survival Minecraft life, which has been super cool to see, because it was great playing with him back when he was on Duconia Season 1, so it's cool seeing him being so active again on a new one. But anyways, I was watching those, and I've been really watching how he does his interiors, and that's like got me like, wow, I really need to step my game up. I really need to step my building game up again, guys. I feel like I've fallen into like not a vanilla rut, but like I feel like I used to be such a better builder when it came to like thinking of ideas and purposes of place, especially when planning out interiors. So I'm thinking we're going to do a lot of experimentation here coming very, very soon with how we're going to be doing a lot of this stuff. But anyways, that's kind of the update for now. I'm grabbing these guys on here because I want to go ahead and throw a little bit of a roof on that top bit. Let's see. Can we go ahead? Let's just go and do that. Get those last guys up there. And we can jump back up to this right there. Should be good. And we can go ahead and just throw a little bit of a roof bit on top of here. Bring that all the way out to the side. And then from down here, we can go ahead and just do another one sticking out. I think this will be kind of a cool... Ooh, we could actually almost go ahead and do a little bit of a half slab action right there to make it look like we got a little bit more of a lip around these windows. I think that might be pretty good for us to go ahead and do this stuff. However, let me go ahead and get a few flowers and things like this in the center area down here. Ooh, yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I think that's a good addition right there. Let me go ahead and get a few flowers down here, a little finishing bits to this. We'll go ahead and focus on this inner area later on, and I'll be back with you guys so we can go ahead and end this episode off, because I think we've got a lot of work done for today. Well, guys, this has been a super fun video. There's more deaths to end crystals than I'm ever happy to admit, and those I think are now a majority of deaths in this Minecraft world in general. But overall, I had a lot of fun with this guy. Hopefully you guys did too. We got our brick road in here across our non-existent bridge so far, or a very skinny little hard to get over bridge there, and it's coming up to this great castle entrance. I love the front of this guy. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. And we're back down. Let's go back around and do this again for the 4th or 5th time in today's episode. Overall, that was really fun working with the ender crystals. I do want to figure out a way to get them to be even there, but that's a project for another day. We got our new banner design in here, built up, ready to go. Coming up our staircases right here. I've only ever come up the left side. Let's go up the right side. I've never done this way before. We got our nice little trees here in the corner. Not super happy with this guy over here, but I'm really, really happy with how that tree turned out. I think overall, this right here, yep, that was a great view. Here's an even better view. That's much better. Look, there's my beautiful face right there. I think this view right here is pretty much perfect for what I want our front to be here. I love the glow we're getting off of our little sea lanterns right in there. Everything like that. It's looking pretty freaking amazing. We got all this amazing stuff throughout here. The central area in here, we've done a little bit of work on this guy throughout today's episode, just finishing up, doing some starting touches on this, getting it to a point where we can more easily modify and edit this as we go throughout. I think it's going to be pretty freaking awesome. I'm super pumped for this guy. However, it's time that we go ahead and get our comment or question of the day ready. So I got this guy in my backpack here. Let me get him out. Today's comment is coming in from Stuart, and he is saying maybe on the seaside part of the castle, you could hollow out the inside of it and have the water flow underneath. Maybe even add an area for a ship to dock and deposit goods directly alongside the castle. It might help the wizards seem more secluded from the rest of the city. Also allow for a great training area for water elementals. From Stuart Rowell. Stuart, thank you so much for this comment. You sparked the idea for next episode. I had an idea in mind of how I want to do the terraforming along this side, but I could never get something quite cleaned out for what I want to be doing. And Stuart here got me going, wow, that's got to happen right now. That we got to do this right now. So we have this awesome outline up here for what I want to be doing for as far as the shape of the castle. I've been thinking about bringing this all out and kind of having the cliffs kind of end out around in this area, coming out like 4 or 5 blocks out to here, and then just kind of sharp cliffs coming down. But that, compared to what Stuart's thinking of here, what Stuart got me thinking of, is super, super boring. So I got an idea now, thanks to Stuart here. So, dude, I know I've said your name like 5-6 times. Thank you so much for this one. I want to go ahead and have these cliffs come out, but then keep that super fantasy feel for our castle here and have the cliffs kind of come out. Certain areas be like touching down to the ground and everything, and then the rest is going to come back in, and we'll have this cave coming probably back in like another 8, 9, 10 blocks, maybe in a centralized area or something like that. We'll have it open up pretty wide for some people to, maybe we'll have like a way for the castle inhabitants to get down here. All the wizards can come down there, and there'll maybe be a small boat to get out of there. And then over here on this side, on the outside of this guy, I want to go ahead and bring down like a small area. Maybe we'll actually do it along the side right there, and they can kind of go back up that way into the castle. That could be a project for a later episode, but some way for us to dock a ship right along this area I think would be really cool, like a wizard ship. But anyways, what you see right there, that idea right there, I want to basically take that, but basically bring this guy straight down so we have that kind of connecting point and creates these cool archways, bringing everything in there together. I want to go ahead and create that out what we have in this area. I think that's going to be so much fun. We're going to be working on that in the next episode. I think that'll be super, super cool. So thank you so much for that idea, dude. That is super awesome. I'm so pumped for that. I'm going to get to work on that right away as soon as we finish this episode off here. So you guys can expect to see that in the next episode. But yeah, awesome comment. For those of you guys who are out there thinking about ideas to give me about what you guys want to be seeing in the series, this is exactly how you do it. Thank you so much for that one, dude. We'll be working on that very shortly. But yeah, if you guys want to see how we can change up this world to be something more along the lines of what you guys want to see, or if you guys have ideas on what you want to be seeing this castle turn into in the end, great way to do is letting me know down in the comments below. Always very open to the feedback and criticism and everything that you guys provide down there. I read every single one of those comments, and you guys know that for sure because I reply to about 99%. I think I got like a 90.95% or so reply rate at this point, which I'd say is pretty good for a YouTuber, you know. We might, as the comments go up a little bit higher, might drop a little bit more, but I'm planning on keeping that up as high as I possibly can. I love reading through all the comments and replying to everything. So yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button if you are new, and I will catch you on the flip side.